Huh. Heard you guys like dirty white boys with long hair who live in their own filth, so I thought I'd play the part. So this brings me to a bit of a side tangent, so bear with me. I want to talk to any outright fascists who might have clicked on this video and that, for some reason, are still watching. Maybe you forgot to click away after calling me meth mouth in the comments or something. Who knows? Anything is possible, I guess. So if you're any kind of right-wing person out there, I have a question for you. What do you actually want? And I don't just mean in the short term, like forced deportation and prayer in schools or whatever the fuck. I mean, what does your ideal world look like? If you've won, and you get your way, and you've made the world in your image, what does that world look like? You see, if you were to ask me, I'd be able to tell you broadly the kind of world I want to create. One without hierarchy and coercive power. There'd still be power structures, because where there's people, there's power, but it would be bottom up, limited, and temporary. Decisions would be made by consent, with the aim of eliminating human suffering and maximizing human leisure. If you want to get specific, I'm for worker control of the world economy and horizontal control of the commons. In the short term, this looks like worker-owned businesses and taxes going to free college and healthcare and the like. And in the long term, it's more like workers' councils that steer the world economy and assemblies that make decisions for the collective good with all basic needs, food, water, shelter, etc., provided without any cost, monetary or otherwise. Now that may sound like a pipe dream to some, but at least I'm aiming for something. I've yet to hear a right-wing vision for the future other than some idealized return to a romanticized and fictional glorious past. I just don't think you've got one. The right seems to be seeking to trade the future for total power today. It's a race to rule over a wasteland. But what I'm saying to you is, the chances are that power is not making its way to you. Fascism is a death cult. It always needs an enemy. As I was saying before, it's a meat grinder that needs people to blame, exploit, and eliminate, and eventually, you're going to be on that menu. Let's look at the fascist characters in Andor as an example. We can start at the bottom with Cyril Karn. Oh wait, that's Ben Shapiro. Same difference. This slimy toad of a man-child is eager to find a boot to lick. He is a true believer in the cause and goes above and beyond for the Empire. Not until his final days, living as a spy amongst the Gorman, which I'll come back to, does he start to see the Empire's lies about the rebels. By then, it's far too late, and he dies a nobody, a statistical error, just like the dead cops that started the whole show. Even Andor doesn't know who the fuck he is, and Cyril spent his whole life trying to get revenge. Deidre Romero spent seemingly her whole life helping build the Empire, climbing the ranks of the ISB agency through intelligence gathering and torture, and for what? To land in a prison of her own making? Literally? Major Partagaz ends up dying from self-inflicted lead poisoning because he sees the writing on the wall. People will never stop rebelling, so the Empire will always need someone to blame for that rebellion. And he is next on the chopping block. Time and again, fascism is a beast that eats its own. Its continued existence is predicated on constant blood and death. Why would you want to be a part of that? Back to my original question though. Let's say none of this was true. Let's say, keeping in the Star Wars universe, the rebellion loses and is completely annihilated. What then? The Emperor gets his unlimited power. To do what exactly? Sit on a big chair and look creepy? To weep for there are no more worlds to conquer? Is that all power is? Some nihilistic ego project? Sounds boring as hell. What do you want? I'm pretty into existentialism, so I don't believe life has any inherent or supernatural meaning. That's bleak to some, but I see it as free. We create the meaning. So why not create something better? It seems so obvious to me that the right is such a dead end that it sometimes boggles my mind that anyone falls into it in the year 2025. But, and this may shock you, I blame the left. We also have a problem with our vision of the future in that we do not communicate it well at all. The problem seems to be that we are all mired in the discourse of the day, spending all our time trying to score political points in the present and paying no mind to what we might be building. It doesn't help that the left is very divided on how we build the better world we want, but that's a whole other video. Both sides are too busy in their tit-for-tat discourse that we never have time to imagine what we want from the world. This is the only reason I can see that allows centrists to exist at all. They see the chaos of a changing world and an uncertain future and cling to the status quo as the devil they know, so to speak. I think a lot of these views, from the center to the right, come from a place of fear. Fear of change, fear of the other. Fear, after all, as Master Yoda said, is the first step towards the dark side. You must conquer your fear using empathy. This system we are all drowning in is a place that has us fighting over scraps, has us convinced that it's a zero-sum game. If we even get a whiff of anyone else getting more, we assume it means we must be getting less. But that's a distraction from the people hoarding more than they could ever use. What I'm saying is, we are fighting over getting a slice of the pie while we are living in a bakery. This isn't meant to say that your fear isn't valid. It's a scary world out there. But I think you should use that fear of what could be and work to make a world without fear, instead of trying to become what people are scared of. Some people think there are others out there coming for them or their way of life. Some great horde crossing the border or shadowy cabal pulling the strings. If this is you, and you hate everything I talk about, at least try this. Travel. Travel somewhere that you assume is hostile to you. Take a day, go somewhere within your means, and just hang around. Don't try and start a fight, you will get your ass kicked. Just get lunch. Walk around and people watch. You'll start to realize, if you're open to it, that difference is nothing to be scared of or to fight against. In fact, most folks all want basically the same things you do. To eat, stay comfy, have fun, get laid occasionally, and not suffer needlessly. Why not work to create a world that maximizes that? Anyway, I guess that's all I had to say to anyone on the other side of the political spectrum who, for some reason, is hate watching my Andor video. Leave a comment telling me your vision of the world. Or just leave death threats as usual, I don't care. We'll settle it in the streets. Now what was I talking about before all this?